You're being lied to, my friend said, his voice heavy with certainty. I paused, curiosity creeping in. Everything you've been taught about money, it's all backwards. That's how it starts for most of us, right? We grow up learning that the path to success is to work hard, get a good job, save, and retire someday. It's a comforting thought. But Rich Dad, Poor Dad rips that illusion apart with one critical distinction: the mindset. Kiyosaki didn't just have one dad, he had two. His biological father, Poor Dad, was a highly educated man who believed in the traditional approach. Go to school, get a degree, find security in a stable paycheck. Meanwhile, his rich dad, his best friend's father, didn't care much for education, but he had an entirely different relationship with money, one rooted in opportunity and leverage. Think of it like this. Some people see happiness as a destination. They chase after material things, jobs, promotions, status, believing that's where fulfillment lies. Others, however, see happiness as a byproduct of meaningful actions. It's something that comes after you master your relationship with your circumstances. The key difference? It's not about who has the money, but how they think about it. Wealth isn't in the paycheck, it's in the mindset. The illusion of working for money. I don't know why I'm still broke. I work harder than ever. That's the silent frustration millions carry as they hustle from paycheck to paycheck, never quite breaking free. It's a cycle that feels familiar, almost comforting, until you realize it's a trap. This is the heart of Kiyosaki's second lesson. Working for money isn't the answer, and it never has been. We're conditioned to think the paycheck is the reward for our labor, just like we're addicted to the endless swipe of social media feeds. It's quick, stimulating, but ultimately hollow. Every 2 weeks you get your paycheck, but then what? You pay your bills, maybe set aside a little, and wait for the next one. The process repeats, and before you know it, decades have passed. You've worked hard, but have you really built anything? Rich Dad saw through this illusion early on. He understood that true financial freedom comes not from working for money, but by making money work for you. It's not about how much you earn, but about what your money does when you're not working. It's about assets, things that generate income, whether you're sleeping, on vacation, or taking a day off. The middle class is trapped in this paycheck cycle because they spend most of their lives chasing money rather than learning how to control it. They see a higher salary as the solution, but fail to realize that financial independence isn't about increasing income. It's about shifting your mindset from working for money to building assets that do the heavy lifting. Imagine it like this. Swiping through social media feeds might pass the time, but it never leads to real fulfillment. Likewise, working for a paycheck may get you by, but it will never build wealth. True satisfaction comes from stepping back, building something that grows without you constantly swiping, or in this case, without you constantly working. And now that we've unmasked the paycheck illusion, let's dig into the tools Rich Dad used to escape it and start building real wealth. The power of financial literacy. I thought I was doing everything right. So why does it feel like I'm still lost? That's the moment most people face when they look at their finances. They've bought the house, the car, the gadgets, thinking they've been building wealth. But here's the kicker. Most of what they own isn't actually putting money into their pockets. This is where Kiyosaki's third lesson hits hard. Financial literacy isn't just a skill, it's the compass guiding your financial decisions. Without financial literacy, navigating wealth building is like trying to drive across Lagos without Google Maps. Sure, you'll move, but you'll end up in the wrong place. Most people think they're accumulating wealth, but they're unknowingly loading up on liabilities. You see, an asset puts money into your pocket, while a liability takes it out. Simple, right? But ask the average person, and they've been confusing the two their entire lives. Rich Dad emphasized this difference over and over again. The house you live in, liability. The flashy car parked outside, liability. But those rental properties, those stocks, those are assets. Financial literacy teaches you how to spot the difference. And once you know, you'll realize that much of what you thought was wealth has actually been draining you dry. This is the point most people miss. They feel like they're doing well, but their bank accounts tell a different story. Kiyosaki's message is clear. If you don't understand what's truly adding value to your life, you're just getting lost in a sea of liabilities and the destination. Still broke. Now that we've cleared up what assets and liabilities truly mean, let's see how Rich Dad puts this knowledge into action and builds wealth through smarter financial decisions. Building your own business, owning your future. You're either rowing your own boat or you're just a passenger in someone else's. That's the harsh truth. Working a steady job might feel secure, but it's like being on a ship where someone else is steering. Sure, you might not hit an iceberg, but you'll never reach the destination you want. This is the essence of what Kiyosaki calls minding your own business. And no, it's not just about staying out of people's affairs. It's about owning your future by building something for yourself. Rich Dad's message was simple. Don't spend your life building someone else's empire. Whether it's a side hustle or a full-blown business, owning your business is the only way to truly own your future. When you're an employee, you're just renting your time, trading hours for a paycheck. But when you own something, your business, your investments, you're the captain of your ship. It's risky, sure. The seas are unpredictable and storms will come. But at least you're in control. Think of it this way. A job keeps you safe, like staying docked at the harbor. It's comfortable, predictable, but you'll never discover new lands that way. Starting your own business? That's setting sail. It might be rough at first, but that's the only way to reach true financial freedom. Rich Dad knew that the real wealth wasn't in the paycheck, but in the ownership of assets that continue to grow long after you've put in the initial work. Now, what's next? Let's dive into the mindset that separates the average employee from the true entrepreneur, because that's where the real transformation happens. The tax game and the corporate advantage. It's like playing a board game where only a few players know the secret rules, and those rules determine who wins. That's the reality when it comes to taxes and corporations. The average person? They're stuck playing the game based on the instructions on the box. Work hard, pay your taxes, and hope you get ahead. But the wealthy? They know there's a whole different set of rules that's not on the box cover. They play the tax game strategically, and the corporate structure is their secret weapon. Kiyosaki emphasizes that the rich don't just work for money, they work to keep money. Corporations provide a massive advantage because they allow the wealthy to pay themselves after expenses and taxes, not before. Think about it. When you're an employee, your taxes are taken out before you even see your paycheck. But when you own a corporation, you can deduct business expenses like travel, meals, even vehicles before paying taxes on what's left. It's like playing Monopoly, but the rich get to move their piece twice before you can even roll the dice. Understanding the tax system and corporate structures isn't about cheating. It's about knowing the rules that are already there. The government encourages entrepreneurship and investment, and if you know how to use corporations and tax incentives, you're not just surviving in the game, you're dominating it. The bottom line, you're either paying taxes like everyone else, or you're playing the game like the rich leveraging corporations to protect and grow your wealth. Now let's talk about how the truly wealthy get ahead. Not through luck, but by investing wisely and multiplying their assets. Seizing opportunity. The rich invent money. It's like staring at a blank canvas. Some people only see emptiness, but the true artists? They see a masterpiece waiting to be created. That's the difference between those who stay poor and those who build wealth. The poor and middle class focus on what they don't have. The missing colors, the lack of paintbrushes, the fact that the canvas isn't the right size. But the rich? They know that money, like art, can be created out of almost nothing. They don't see empty space. They see opportunity. Kiyosaki emphasizes that the rich aren't waiting for lucky breaks or ideal circumstances. They're creating opportunities where others see obstacles. When others see a market crash, the rich see a buying opportunity. When most people get hit by unexpected expenses, the wealthy find ways to turn those moments into strategic advantages. This is why he says the rich invent money. They're not stuck waiting for resources, they're using their resourcefulness to create wealth out of thin air. This approach goes beyond luck or timing. It's a mindset. Most people think, if only I had more money, I'd invest. The wealthy flip it. If I want more money, I have to invest. They see potential where others see risk, and that's why they often end up making money in places most people wouldn't dare to look. It's not the abundance of resources that makes someone rich, it's the ability to find wealth in what others overlook. Next, we'll dive into why taking calculated risks, rather than playing it safe, is the true catalyst for building long-term wealth. Work to learn, not for a paycheck. Imagine you're stuck at the same level in a video game. Every time you hit the ceiling, you're left grinding away for small rewards. But here's the thing, the game isn't rigged. You just haven't unlocked the skills you need to move forward. This is the trap most people fall into. They're chasing paychecks, hoping the next raise or promotion will unlock the life they want. But Kiyosaki reminds us that real growth doesn't come from the size of your paycheck. It comes from the size of your skill set. Every new skill you learn, every challenge you take on, it's like leveling up in a game. It opens new doors, gives you new tools, and suddenly you're no longer stuck grinding for that next payday. You're building something that compounds over time. The wealthy understand this on a profound level. They don't just work for money, they work to learn how money works. They seek out experiences, not pay raises. The value of learning how to sell, how to negotiate, how to invest. These are skills that don't just pay you once, they pay you for life. That's why Kiyosaki insists, work to learn, not just for a paycheck. Think of it like this. Chasing paychecks is like chasing the next shiny item in a game. It's satisfying in the moment, but keeps you stuck in the same loop. Learning, however, is the key that unlocks the next level. You're not just earning more, you're expanding what's possible. Next, we'll explore how adopting this mindset creates a foundation for long-term financial independence. Fear, cynicism, and the 5 obstacles to wealth. Imagine you're driving down a busy street, but your mirrors are blocked. You're oblivious to the dangers lurking in your blind spots, unaware of the opportunities whizzing by. This is how fear, cynicism, laziness, bad habits, and arrogance work in our lives, silent yet powerful barriers that keep us from financial freedom. Kiyosaki dives deep into these internal obstacles, and understanding them is critical to breaking free from the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. Fear, for instance, is often the most paralyzing. It whispers lies, making us believe that taking risks means losing everything. This fear traps us in a safe zone, preventing us from seizing opportunities that could transform our lives. Cynicism follows closely behind, distorting our perception of wealth and success. It convinces us that the rich are greedy, creating a mental divide that discourages us from even trying to build wealth ourselves. Meanwhile, laziness sneaks in, offering the false comfort of the status quo. It's easier to scroll through social media than to educate ourselves about investments or start a side hustle. Then, there are bad habits, spending without thinking, avoiding budgeting, neglecting savings. These behaviors are like weeds in your garden. If you don't pull them out, they'll choke the life out of your financial growth. Lastly, arrogance can blind us to our weaknesses, making us overestimate our financial prowess while ignoring the need for continuous learning. Kiyosaki's message is clear. Overcoming these psychological blind spots is even more crucial than any financial strategy. Your mindset can either be your biggest asset or your worst liability. By tackling these obstacles head-on, you'll pave the way for genuine wealth. Next, we'll discuss how to shift your mindset toward embracing risk and cultivating a wealth-building mentality. The path to financial independence. Getting started. Imagine standing in a barren field, staring at the ground. The truth is, the best time to plant a tree was years ago, but the second best time is right now. This is how it is with wealth building. Every moment wasted is a chance lost to grow your financial future. Kiyosaki emphasizes that the journey to financial independence isn't a sprint. It's a marathon filled with intentional actions and strategic decisions. First, assess your current financial situation. Understand where you stand, just as you would measure the soil before planting. Create a budget that outlines your income and expenses. This will be your blueprint for growth. Next, start planting those seeds. Focus on acquiring assets. Invest in stocks, real estate, or even your education. Remember, every dollar you invest is like a tree planted in your financial forest. Lastly, nurture your investments with ongoing learning. Stay informed about financial opportunities and markets. Just as a tree needs water and sunlight, your financial knowledge will help your wealth thrive. So, take that first step today. Your future self will thank you for it. In the next and final section, we'll wrap up with the importance of building a supportive network to amplify your wealth-building efforts. Synthesizing the rich dad mentality. Imagine reprogramming your computer's operating system. This is what adopting the rich dad mentality feels like, a complete transformation of how you perceive money and wealth. Once you embrace these principles, your financial decisions will be guided by a new, more effective mindset. You'll shift from the relentless grind of working for money to a powerful position where money works for you. This is not just a change in strategy, it's a revolution in thinking. So, are you ready to rewire your financial future? If you haven't liked and subscribed yet, show some love by hitting those buttons and join us on this journey toward wealth.